we got there. We got our orders from the command post to team up with Engine 5 and start our way up, right? So we're standing there in the lobby. We're getting all together. All of a sudden, we hear. I look down to my right, and the elevators exploded. Something out of like a Bruce Willis Die Hard movie. People just come running out of the elevators on fire, fireball. I mean, it was like, what is going on here? Something's up here. I mean, the plane's up there, now there's fire down here. People run around all on fire. This is crazy. So we said, look, we had our orders. That's our job. We're going to do what we got to do. So we were going up the stairs. As we were going up, you know, there was fire here, there was fire. People burnt up on different levels, and we were trying to get a read on what floor are you coming from? What floor are you coming from? Just, is there fire on your floor? Is there fire on your floor? We were asking, and they were like, there's some fire on our floor. There's people trapped on other floors, and we're like trying to get a read. These people were pretty calm. People burnt coming down, just saying thank you, fireman. We were going up. We were heading up to the 24th floor of the stairwell, and all of a sudden we heard, Mayday, Mayday, second plane, second plane. Swift, we're looking at each other like, come on, second plane? There's no way there's a second plane. Within seconds, our building got rocked. We got bounced around in the stairwell like pinballs, man. And we just said, you know what? Time to go. We got out as much people as we could. Most of the people were out. We were the last guys going up the stairs. We got down. We started taking off. About 12 of us. We got down to the 3rd floor, and that's where the stairwell collapsed on us. And we had to dig our way out. Now the building's coming down. We can't see nothing. Once again, saying our prayers. You know, the show is over here now. This is it. And with that, all of a sudden, we're looking for another stairwell. Me and the lieutenant open the door. We find a body in this closet. We were like, what the heck is that? Where did this come from? Holy shit, what's going on here? Something's crazy going on. We got our way out of the 3rd stool, and that's where the maintenance fella with a little flashlight saved our lives. He was pointed over, and if it wasn't for him, we never would have found another stairwell. The building would have collapsed. So
Willie Rodriguez?
Willie Rodriguez. Thank you, Willie. He saved our lives. Saved about 12 guys' lives that day. At least. We got down to the lobby, and everything was blown out, exploded. Everything was. We were the only ones in the lobby now. We're going, wait a second here. Where is everybody? Because the building was coming down the outside. They moved the command post to World Trade Center too. So now we're like, we didn't get no. Where is everybody? We were in the lobby. It looks like everything was exploded. Everything was gone. We're like, what is going on here? We didn't know. We were like, this is crazy. All of a sudden, we said, listen, man, no time to cry for your mommy. We got to get out of here. So we took off like cockroaches. 12 of us. We all went our own ways. I ran across North End Avenue and outran the building, throwing my gear off, stripping down on my skivvies. I was standing on the ledge, watching the building come down. I was diving in the river to Jersey. I said, this is it, man. This is the end of the game here. I mean, I made it this far. I'm not going to let them get me now. No way. And what happened was, after that, we ran down North End Avenue, and there came the other tower. We were like, something's very wrong here. And as we ran, we ran down. We came around to Duane Street, where the filming of the French guys were that morning. And we had to go check in with the chief on Duane Street to count how many guys we thought might have died, and guys in my company who we were with. So we kind of figured we lost 3 right at that time. We actually ended up losing 5.
And what was your feeling about the lobby being so destroyed, as you said?
I mean, we were saying, how is this happening when it was 80 stories up? And, you know, like, we was just, you know, you think about it, you say, something else had to go on here. Something else was going on here. This just don't happen like this when a plane hits the 80th floor of a building and the lobby gets blown out. Sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you know, the tower was coming down from the... It was funny because Tower 1 was coming down from the interior on us. You know, so a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people, you know, it just didn't poof. It was coming down. It was coming from the interior. It trapped us on the 3rd floor, and we were like, this thing is definitely coming down, man. Because, you know, the inside structure was just disintegrated. We're like, how is this happening when the plane was up 50 more stories and the stairwells collapsing on us? Something wasn't right, man. Something wasn't right in Denmark that day. And, you know, like I said, if it wasn't for that maintenance guy, Willie Rodriguez, you know, there would have been a couple of more firemen dead, a couple more people dead. He saved the lives of about 12 people. For every window in the lobby to be exploded, I mean, them windows were like as thick as forget it. They were 2-3 inch glasses. You know, come on. They exploded out of the lobby. You know, something. It wasn't from the jet fuel. No way. The elevators exploded. They were down from the lobby. The lobby was over here. That should never have happened. Something would happen there, and that wasn't. We came down. It looked like a bomb went off in the lobby. There was no fire. It just looked like a bomb went off.
Safe to say that you agree that the premise at the Twin Towers, and especially Building 7, was brought down with other means than just a plane hit.
I believe so. Yes. Yes.
My name is William Rodriguez. I am the last survivor of the North Tower. I work at the World Trade Center for 20 years. I was just the janitor in charge of all the stairwells in the building. My duties was to clean the stairwells. And on 9/11, of course, my life totally changed. On 9/11, I wake up late. I was supposed to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. A miracle by itself, because every morning I will go and have breakfast at Windows of the World, which was a restaurant that was located on the last floor of the North Tower. So all those people that died over there were my friends. I came in at 8:30 in the morning, and I told my supervisor, I'm on the way. He said, make it, because we don't have nobody else wants to do your routine. You know what it is to do 110 floors of stairs? Nobody wanted to do it. They will do it, and they will be trembling for 2 days. Their knees, yeah. So I made it, and the office was located on the B1 level. We have 6 sub-levels at the World Trade Center, B1, B2, all the way down to B6. Our support office was on B1. Now, Building 1, North Tower, and the South Tower connected through the basement. As I'm talking to the supervisors, F-46, we hear, boom! Huge explosion. It was so hard that pushed us upwards from the floor. We went up. All the walls cracked. The false ceiling completely fell down. The sprinkler system got activated. And there was screaming all over. And at that moment, I thought that it was a generator that blew up on the B2 level, because we had the mechanical room with all the pumps, all the electrical power for the building was located in there. So it made not only sense, but remember, I was in the building for 20 years. I could tell the difference of something coming from the bottom and something coming from the top. So when I went to verbalize that something blew up probably in the mechanical room, we hear, pa! All the way on the top. The impact of the plane. 2 different events. There was an explosion in the basement prior to the tower being hit by a plane. We hear that impact on the top, and everybody started screaming. There are 14 people in general in the office, and all of a sudden we hear a person coming like this with the hands extended saying, explosion, explosion. And when I looked at him, he has all the skin pulled from under his armpits all the way to the top of the fingertips, and it was hanging like it was a piece of glove. When you take off a glove and let it hang, exactly like that. I thought it was clothing. When I realized it was his skin. When I finally looked at his face, he got missing parts on his face. I said, what happened? He was in shock. He said, the elevators. I said, I don't understand. So I went to pick up, don't move, I went to pick up the phone to call the EMS unit that was located on the South Tower. And when I go to pick up the phone, another explosion on the top, and the walls cracked more, and everything started to shake. So I said, we got to get out, we got to get out. I took the guy, it was a black guy named Felipe David. That's Felipe. And I let everybody out. We went out through the loading dock. We get outside. There's an ambulance coming over. We stopped the ambulance. I put Mr. Felipe David, a guy from Bolivia, who was on the B2 level. He was in charge of filling up the machines with water in the building, the vending machines, and with sodas. And as he was in his room, in his closet, he said there was fire, and he put his hands to cover his face because of the huge explosion. And that's how he made it. He tried to make it through the elevator, and he couldn't make it. So he went up the stairwells, one flight up, and that's how he went to my office. So I took him out, put him in the ambulance. He goes into a coma in the ambulance. There's when I hear for the first time, a plane hit the building, a plane hit the building. A security guard was standing right next to me with a radio, and that's when I look up for the first time, and I see the debris coming down, the fire. But from the angle of vision that I had, because I was right at the corner of the base of the building, you couldn't see the antenna. So I went crazy. I said, we got to go up, because I thought right away of the people from Windows of the World. He said, we got to go up, we got to go up. And those 14 people that I took out, they started, no, you stay here. My supervisor, a guy 3 times my size, weightlifter, he was like, Rodriguez, you're not going in there. You stay here. He said, no, we're going in. No, you stay here. So I took the radio from the security guard, who I knew, and I ran inside the building through the loading dock, down the hill, went inside, and there was water all over. Now, water all over on the basement. How come there wasn't water on the top floors? Again, an explosion on the basement. Now, I get to the South Tower because after the 1993 bombing, they created something called the OCC, of the Operation Control Center, on the South Tower. They spent $153 million to retrofit the building. And so I wanted to tell them that I had a person that was wounded outside the building. So when I get there, there's nobody in the office. I'm hitting the bulletproof window. Nobody answers. I found a guy called Jimmy Barrett that worked for the maintenance company, who was on the lower basement from the South Tower, who did not know what was going on. He was like, what's happening? And I told him what I heard and what I heard on the radio. And he couldn't believe it. So that gives you an idea of how many people probably died on the sub-levels without knowing ever what was going on. Now, I told him, you got to get out. There was a lady at the entrance to the Marriott Hotel on the basement that heard the whole thing, but did not dare to leave her post because she was a new worker and she was afraid that she was going to be fired. I said, you got to get out now. I said, no, I'm new. Get out now. There's nobody here. As I left the South Tower, I ran again towards the North Tower, because my concern again was how to help the people of Windows of the World. And I'm like, my friends, my God, my friends. And I'm screaming, we got to go back in. Nobody wanted to go in. So I said, I'm going again. So I went in, and I found police officer David Lim from the Port Authority Police. He was in charge of the K-9 unit. He meets me there. He said, Willie. And stays quiet. I said, what's going on? He said, I don't know. I said, do you have the key? I said, yes. He meant, did I have the key, the master key? There were only 5 master keys in the building. The people with the other 4 were trained on egress, escape, rescue efforts, and they were the first one to run out. Yeah. I was just a janitor. And the reason that I had that key was because I sued the Port Authority in 1997 because I fell down the stairwell